All right. Welcome to another edition of the SkullTank. Sorry for not being here last week. This is your host, Skull. And with me, as always, is the reason why we're here, Frank the Tank. But we got a special guest this week. I think his name is DJ Disrespect. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Candyman.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What's up?
Not much, man. Not much. Just licking my wounds from that guillotine submission.
Oh,
Hoping to
man.
get
I don't
back
know
in
if you
some
can.
way.
With how tight he is, I don't know if you could lick anything this week. Or, or did you bit your tongue on the way down?
I did. I did bit it right off. Got to get it sewn back on, man. Gonna cost a
Yeah,
lot, but
we actually have history, me and you. You're one of my new recruits from UDF, if I remember right.
Yes, yes, yeah. I met you on there. I was trying to get those mods done, but I think like the mods just really made the game lag, so I just gave up at some point. And then you came in and was like, "Hey, man, let's do some tournaments." I was like, "All right, bet."
Yeah, you've improved a lot. I think I regret showing you this higher level competition because now I can't beat you up like I used to beat you up.
Right, right. Then again, when I did beat you, that was on my host and it was lagging, so I'll give you
Oh no,
that.
you were also using John Jones and I was using Nakamura, so
Yeah.
I think I think yeah, I was like, wow, out of the three people I recruited, you intrigued me the most because you knew how to grapple.
Yeah, dude, that was like my main thing when I first started playing UD3 was because I think I was watching like a YouTube video, like it might have been Marshall Mind, I don't know if y'all know who that is,
Oh yeah.
but he plays like all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
new
I know who that
UFCs.
fucking guy is.
Yeah, and he plays the new ones, and I think he's kind of a fanboy towards them. But when he played UD3, and I saw the ground game on that, I was like, bro, I gotta play that.
Some might use the word shill, but we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah. No. I would say shill because once you sell out and you're doing a whole video and cheerleading, yeah, that's shill.
Yeah, you're completely
Yeah.
ignoring the fact that they're 5 UFCs in, and like you still can't like wall and brawl people and do basic shit that you
I
could
know.
do 12 years ago.
It's unbelievable. And dude, the Flash KO system. What drives me nuts about the new games is like, dude, you'll literally get knocked down like 9 times and just
Yep.
pop right back up. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
What drives me nuts is that you can't play as Bob Sapp.
That's a fucking deal
UD3 you can.
killer, on its own right there.
Yeah, UD3 you can play as Bob Sapp.
And dude, there's
Yeah,
no pride mode. Are you kidding me?
right, dude. Like they're just
Yeah.
taking. It seems like what they're doing, they're taking away rather than just adding. You know what I mean?
Well, it's been so
They're
long
doing
now that most of their audience doesn't even know that UD3 was a thing, and I
Yeah,
think that was their strategy all along.
they're definitely catering towards more of an arcadey, this whale and flail kind of audience.
basically
You know?
EA MMA if it was successful.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I've had guys where I take them down to the ground, submit them, and they text me like, "Bro, why are you grappling?" I'm like, "Because it's an MMA game. I mean, like,
Yeah,
what do you want me to
Right,
do?"
right.
it's a
Frank,
different world.
yeah,
It
we used
really
to
is.
get those. Did you get those messages too in UD3? I got those messages in UD3
Oh,
when I was.
constantly. Yeah, all you want to do is hug people and blah 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 and like whatever. So
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, go play a kickboxing game, man. Go play Fight Night Championship, dude.
when was
No,
your first introduction to this game? How long ago was that?
Oh shoot, probably about like 2 or 3 years ago now, and I
Okay.
bought it on disc for 360 and started playing that offline against the AI.
Were you blown away with how expensive it still was?
Yeah, dude, it was like 16 or 18 bucks,
Yeah,
and
for
I mean that's quite a bit for an older game.
right. I mean, you could get an Xbox One UFC game for like $4.
Exactly, exactly.
I mean, they're giving them away.
They really are. I was
oh yeah,
bummed out when UFC 2 servers got taken down. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I wasn't. I wasn't. Good lord, I
Really,
hated that
really.
Ninja Fury man.
Okay, it was bad. I will say it was pretty bad. But dude, I did like the knockout system, and you could just like ground and pound their face, even though they're unconscious. You know.
That one wasn't bad. I still think UFC 3 was their best bet just because that Ninja Parry really fuck. I fucking hated that from Fight Night.
It,
I really hated
it
that.
I
was.
I hated the. I thought UFC 2 was their best one if it didn't have the
Me too.
parry system. The parry
Yep.
system on that was
Exactly.
so bad that it was crazy. But I mean, we're comparing do we want a brown turd or a green turd? I mean, that's what we're
Yeah.
comparing. They all fall
No,
so far from the mark of UD3.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
comparing like which foot you want to get shot in.
Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
good point.
Yeah, because
Because
at
one
least with
one
a
thing
short
my sorry, you go
or
ahead.
getting shot, you can. It's basically the thing with UFC is that's the only thing around, and that's the problem.
And one thing I noticed, or one thing my dad noticed, every time he saw me like play UFC 4 and UFC 5, like I
Yeah.
swear, like everything you do in that game, you're running through molasses. Like if you shoot a takedown, I swear it's like 3 seconds before the animation even happens. Whereas like UD3, you shoot it and it's like it's an actual double leg.
Yeah, so from coming from the Fight Night thing, the devs did make a point that there was like some input lag, so you can string combos together. And a bigger connection is that one of the bigger devs from there was the head of EA UFC till I think this game.
Oh,
He got promoted.
dang.
Well, I mean, you can't fault them though because like at the end of the day they care about making the most amount of money with using the least
Yep.
amount of effort, and they're doing
Yep.
that, and people line up
I
at
was
the
gonna
gates
say,
to buy
do
the
they
shit.
though? They don't sell as much. Like it's one of the lower selling sports game. That's probably why they don't put in as much effort.
I
They
don't
don't have
know
the
I
money.
don't know the numbers compared to UD3. I know UD3 kind of bombed too, but it was
It did.
just yeah that I don't think there's that many people that play these games in general compared to
Yeah,
Madden or FIFA or something.
it's
Yeah,
definitely more of a niche audience.
yeah. I mean, combat sports. It is a niche audience. I mean,
Yep.
you're trying to sell the punching someone to the face until they get knocked unconscious
I mean, I
or
say it
kicking.
walks the same line as wrestling games. I mean, but the audiences they have are hardcore, but I just their audience is never going to be as big as a as football or soccer audience.
Yeah, or even
Yeah,
boxing.
Yeah, or basketball.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And look, yeah, and there are just so many microtransactions too, man. Just kills everything.
One
Yeah,
thing I don't know if y'all agree, but one thing about the new UFC games, there's like no fighter uniqueness. Like
Never
GSP's
was.
Superman jab that he does in UFC 4 is like completely the same as a different fighter that'll use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would
I,
Or like
say
even
that was a
even
big complaint about this game is that just like a select few guys are unique, and in
true.
UD3, like everyone that had the same stance and stuff, you would know what kind of stuff they got to the table unless they were a big name guy. Like Anderson, you could tell that he has his own little thing.
Yep.
I think that
Yep.
was going to get fixed.
I love that there's people out there that argue that the EA games are more of a simulation than UD3, and I'm like, you literally have Bruce Lee freaking doing these insane 720 thing. It's like playing fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he doesn't get gassed at all from doing it like a
Right.
hundred times.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the what you could say that if you play UD3 with the default stamina, which I largely did for most of my time with the game,
Hmm.
that's I mean more arcadey, I guess, but if you turn on sim mode, it's a completely different fucking game.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree.
And the ranked servers back in the day, 'cause my history with the game, I played UFC 2000. I was before I played any of these, I even played the old one back in Dreamcast days because I'm old as
Oh
shit.
wow.
oh Jesus Christ, yeah, I played that one.
For what it was good. I mean, obviously, it fucking pales in comparison to this. But I was a pretty high level Soul Calibur 4 player. Me and my roommate
Nice.
were, yeah, and we were just balls deep into Soul Calibur. And then he picked up
What
UFC
about Soul Blade?
2009. Oh yeah, but yeah, even Soul Blade was the one for PlayStation. I think I played the one for PlayStation,
Yep.
Dreamcast, all that shit. I was a Cervantes guy, but so my roommate picked up UFC 2009, and I didn't really care that much for it because I was just getting my ass kicked by him. He knew a few things, and then one day I sit there and like I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. I'm gonna at least try to see what it is. And I'm like, dude, I just could not fucking believe how badass that game was. And even today, like if I don't know if you ever played UFC 2009, but it's got some things that it definitely does better than even UD3 does.
Wow. I
Um,
think I remember you telling me that.
yeah, the submission system and stuff on that is incredible, and the ground and pound. There's some ground and pound on that is insanely fucking violent. You can't move the head and stuff. Like it's not as robust, but it worked
Mhm.
really well for what it was. And then
Wow.
UFC 2010 was kind of more of like a concept car. Like there was things that it did well, but there was a lot of things where they just completely fucked itself. And then UD3 is of course a masterpiece.
Yep.
And I was actually an alpha tester on UD3.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Dang, that's awesome. How did that happen back in the day, like on 360? Like, what'd you have to do? Did you have to send an email or something?
I got on the there was the THQ forums I was active in, and they were I was active in them from 2009, and then they were posted a thing one day say, hey, if anybody wants to be an alpha tester for the new UFC game, go ahead and sign up or whatever. And I signed up, and I didn't hear anything for like a while. I kind of forgot about it. Then all of a sudden one day I got a fucking email saying, hey, here's this download code for the alpha tester, and it was all strictly online, and it was strictly welterweight, and it was only create a character, and
Oh,
it was very stripped down create a character, like everybody was bald, um,
uh,
but like some people got creative with like the little shit that you could do on there, like whatever little things you could do, like just make the faces look different and shit, and
uh-huh.
I honestly didn't care for it at first because I was so in love with 2009 still. Um, First, I'd say the like first 50 times I played it, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Like it just seemed like as soon as somebody got you down in side control, you were dead. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I was like, man, I don't know. So like I was really kind of bouncing back and forth between 2009 and then when like the full one came out, I was like, okay, I'm getting this. So I pre-ordered it. And if you pre-ordered, you got Alistair Overeem. Um,
Nice. Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, so I got that for free, and then I played that, and it took me a little bit. And once I figured out like what was up, like I was like, dude, this game is fucking incredible.
Yeah, dude, as soon as I played it, okay, I'll tell y'all something. As soon as y'all invited me to your tournaments and like online tournaments, I pretty much dropped UFC 5 like a bad habit. I'm like, there's literally no reason for me to go back to that garbage game, you know?
Love it.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
good.
like as soon as I get tired about from playing UFC 5, I'm like, I'm just gonna go spar in UD3, an actual MMA game, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and it's the testament to how good this game is from the guts of it too. It's pretty well done in terms of like all facets of the game. You still can do some things in the clinch in EA UFC.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, and like EA UFC, if we're talking about clinch, you can't even like actually go. There's no double unders. I mean, like, what in the world? You know,
Yeah.
like what? Like, I know
Yeah.
you can get to over under, but the way you have to do it is retarded. You know.
Yeah, the
Oh,
controls are cumbersome as fuck on those games too. They're all over the
Yep.
place.
Also, another aspect, what really bothered me about the EA Sports games, or at least from UFC 4 and up, is to deny takedowns. It's literally the same as blocking body and leg shots. So it's like you could be expecting a body kick, and then you'll automatically deny the takedown. I think that's stupid. You know?
I also noticed that when because I had the alpha or the code to get on the alpha or beta or whatever the fuck for UFC 5, and I got bored with it in like 10 minutes, and I hated the fact that you couldn't if you were at a certain range, like I'd be at a distance range, and it would throw a fucking elbow instead of a fucking right straight. And
uh,
I'm like,
yeah,
dude, this shit is horrible. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm getting. And I even was like making a really conscious effort to like push the right inputs and shit. But I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, when you're actually like, in the fucking fight, like you're just instinctively doing things. And I'm like, there is just nothing intuitive about this control scheme whatsoever.
I know. I agree.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I agree too, man. There were some issues like with UD3 too that we talk about that we've mentioned before in our chat. Like, God, the fucking servers were so bad.
yes,
I would,
they were rough.
Yeah, I
yeah,
never got a
like,
chance to play UD3 online on 360. I completely missed that because I was probably still pretty young when it came out. But
How, how old are you, Candyman?
I am 19.
19, yeah. So you would have
okay,
been what,
fuck.
5 or 7 or something?
And about like about 8 years old.
Yeah, I mean that's wild, right?
Yeah, and I was not in the MMA at 8 years old. I got
Right.
into
Yeah,
MMA I think at 2020.
yeah. Do you mention to people that you're 19 all the time when you're sending them massive messages?
No, I don't understand why I do that.
You
Yeah,
don't ask.
that's a jab at Lickma. He kept writing people. He's just constantly mentions that he's 35 years old. I'm like, what does that have to do with you acting like a jackass?
Yeah, he's so
Well,
far the only
speaking.
guy I've seen to punch people on the ground. You would think that under a new account he'd learn his lesson and
He
keep
did
a
it
low
twice.
profile. And not only that, he locked in the guillotine.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't tell if he was trolling or if he just did not know he was in a
No,
kickboxing
you
match.
no. He legitimately thought that it's pretty bad. I have to see his
Wow.
messages here.
You're gonna have
Um,
to like go to Google Translate and put it in French for him.
So
he
what do you?
basically was like, you prefer to keep fighters who don't even know how to defend themselves during a takedown. This is the basis of the game. Which is like, bro, it's a kickboxing match. What the fuck are you
Wow.
talking about?
Wow.
Like this guy's in like La La Land.
Oh my goodness, that's insane.
And you
So
know what? We probably would have kept the guy if he kept his mouth shut.
yeah, the
Like,
biggest way to get banned from this league, really, the only way you can get banned permanently is by being annoying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
we should
that's
rephrase
it.
that. Annoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I think I've had a couple times where because whenever I actually like go into the fight and it's time to compete, I usually turn the announcers off, so like I'll mute the Twitch stream because I don't know about y'all, but if I'm doing that and like the announcer, I can hear the announcers, it kind of gets in my head and like throws
What?
off my game.
Yeah. Also, the timing is off of it too, so you might be reacting to shit we said 20 seconds ago or something.
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
it probably slows down your connection just a hair too.
True,
yeah,
yeah, because the internet. Yep, yep.
yeah. I was gonna say like, what we usually tell you sometimes it doesn't work either, and then if you do the opposite, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays
Yep.
I've adapted. I have a notebook file open at all times, so I'll put something up on the thing like, hey, push B and go back because you did a setting wrong or something.
Ah, that's smart. That's smart. It's real
Yeah,
smart.
we're learning. We're still learning. We're gonna hopefully stay learning. But so, what do
Yes,
you
sir.
think? What have you attributed to how good you've gotten so quickly?
Um, well, I think from a base, my ground game was already pretty good, and I think I was going into y'all's tournament with like a pretty good knowledge of how to work on the ground. I knew how to do transition reversals. I was practicing that like crazy. You know, when they put the feet on the
Yep.
hips and do all
Yeah.
that, I was reversing that. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
you've
did
also,
that in my first couple of fights, but I knew how to do it, and I just couldn't time it properly when I was fighting.
Yeah.
who
But
you fought, it kind of was hard for you. I think your first fight was Shooter Man, right? If I remember right.
yeah, Shooter Man. Yep, he was my first fight. The toughest guy for me was probably was the loss against Brock Lesnar.
Was that Keon?
Oh, that's
That was
Kian.
yep,
Yeah, he
Keon.
just yeah, he's a tough motherfucker,
Yeah,
man.
for you to be
He
able
was
to hang with that dude is something to say because I mean you have not been playing in this league very long. And
I know, I know.
I know what skill level you were at when you started, and you've gone up like I mean you went from like okay like this guy knows the controls for the most part to where it's like no
Hmm.
now this guy could fucking be champion and like it's no exaggeration.
You want to hear something funny actually about Kian? I met him in UDF also, and me and PA Zeus are the one who showed him SFC.
Oh wow, nice.
I think if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he'll correct me anyway.
But yeah, Keon, he really got me with the ground game because he was very patient. That was one thing I do have a bad tendency of doing is like I'm sure you've seen in my previous fights, like I was
Yeah.
going back and watching it, and he was like, he needs to pass the guard, because I was in
Yep.
full guard and it was open clinch, and I was kind of I think I was Dan Severn. I was focusing on ground and pound too much when I should have been passing that guard, you know?
Well, yeah, largely it's. I mean, that's fine to ground and pound from there, but you got to make sure that guy doesn't have a sweep because those sweeps
Yep.
are so effective. Yeah, Brock, and it's like I typically I don't play around ground and pound from a position if the guy has. I will. I mean, there's
Agreed.
circumstances to everything. If I'm just feeling like he don't have nothing for me or he's real tired, maybe I will. But like I'll typically like from there I'm just passing to half guard where he doesn't have a sweep, and then I'm ground and pounding.
That's smart. That's very smart. I should do that more.
But that's just strictly an experience thing. That was really the only flaws I seen in your entire fight with him. Because I mean, you definitely had some good moments in that.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
what I was doing wrong too is I felt like I was trying to because I kept trying to force that transition of the double underpass, that Dan Severn has to get the side
Yes.
control. And the feet the hips kickoff is so quick it was interrupting that.
Yeah, it's Brock. I mean, Brock is a tough test for a heavyweight.
And it's Keon. I mean, Keon's a veteran. He's one of the best guys in the
Yeah.
league. So he gave him
He
5
was where
rounds of
you were
fucking hell.
probably. He was where you were probably like a year ago.
Right.
So like, yeah, he leveled up times a billion. That he's now in Team Foxcatcher. So actually, we'll see. I don't know. I heard that when you lose, they throw you off a cliff. So haven't
Well,
heard
I
from
mean,
him.
how does it feel to have ridden with the Pimp Star horse when Keon was a member and he said, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm going over to Foxcatcher. While Pimp Star had all 3 belts.
Oh man,
And they
I'm not
still
gonna
have
I'm not gonna lie. I don't keep up with the whole the camp banter. I usually just go in there, spar, when I can, and fight when I'm told to.
I like your attitude, man. You know that after like the season ends, we're gonna have camp wars. So is there anyone in
Oh,
another
okay,
camp you want
okay.
to fight?
Do I want to fight?
Anyone that's in another camp right now that catches your eye that you want to beat up?
That's a good question. I mean, I would like to fight Abbas again on bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, you're not gonna. Yeah. What happened there? What was your reaction when you thought you had
Okay,
the
I'll
fight
tell you.
and
I'll
then
tell
it
you
was?
what. I'll tell you what happened there. So I was going in there. So bare knuckle boxing, it's like I don't take it as seriously as I do the MMA. I'm like really focused on trying to get better at MMA. So I just picked Chuck Liddell. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in here and bang. Uh, I wasn't expecting to win against Abbas, or I wasn't expecting to lose either. I was just there to have fun. So I was going in there, and one of my goals that night was to grab him in single collar tie and just beat his face in. Y'all remember the fight where Don Fry and the Asian dude were like boxing each other's
Oh, yeah.
faces in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
paralyzed.
basically what I was trying to do to him the whole time, and he kept seeing me go for that collar tie, and he just hit me with that uppercut and knocked me out.
Yeah, Abbas is he's a smarter fighter than he looks.
Yeah,
That's all I'll
dude, he's
say.
got the Derek Lewis style. He'll hide in the corner, wait, and then boom, just hit you.
But he also throws while you're throwing, and that's his
Yep,
thing.
he does.
Yeah, the guys he picked also have more power usually than what you're throwing. So if you get caught one of his, you're done because it would count as a counterpunch if I remember right.
Yeah, and to be
I would
honest, he
think
actually uses Dan Henderson really well and almost like kind of embodies him because
he
Dan
does.
literally will just pace around and wait for that right hand, and then there it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good way to describe him as Dan Henderson. I mean, we do a Derek Lewis a lot, but he does kind of embody Dan Henderson. Like, there's how many times have we seen Dan Henderson get these wins where it's like, dude, you should have been dead 20 fucking minutes ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Abbas. That's Abbas in a nutshell. I mean, he is a good fighter though. I won't take nothing from him, and I know he wants to fight me in kickboxing. That'll have to be next week.
He's got his own. He's doing something different, which I like. I mean, we see a lot of people like Pepsi in some way fight very similar. For example, like we see a lot of like people that have a similar style, but Abbas is doing his own thing, and he's having success with it.
Yeah, Dissy should win Coach of the Year. His only competition right now is Pimp Daddy and you, but you have a lot of work to do with some of the rookies you got in your camp.
Right. Right. Yeah,
No,
I
I
think
meant
one of
Frank,
my.
not you, man.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah. What up?
Frank has some greener than grass guys that need a
Yeah,
lot of work.
I love a good challenge, but nah, he's I mean, we got a great camp too. We've made it a joke like we've been the silver medalist, but Hamslinger just took gold, so we're happy with that. But I think Shooterman's coming along nicely. He's just everybody does shit at different times, man. Not everybody can. Because really feel like you and Shooterman were like almost on an exact same skill level when I first sparred you guys. And then I feel like you just fucking took the fuck off running where he's just going a little different trajectory.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And we're probably meeting down the line. I'm probably fighting Candyman down the line too, probably in
Mhm.
MMA.
If
Hey
you
man, I
I'm
look forward
basically
to that.
what's
I'm the
your
litmus
what's
test.
your roughest what's the hardest defeat that you've had so far?
Is that
Definitely the one against Brock Lesnar that really bruised my ego. I did not want to lose that.
really not even Sunwave?
Uh, okay, well that hurt a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was a fluke. He set it up, but I was just like, okay, that did hurt. But I don't know, man. Just that loss against Brock Lesnar really like upset me, bro. It just
Yeah,
really upset
did you
me.
know that was I think that was the week after he defected too. So you saying that you didn't follow the camp politics is kind of hilarious.
I know,
I was like,
right? Yeah, I didn't
he
even know
was
he was in the camp, to be honest.
he was talking so much shit to you too, if I remember right.
Was he? I couldn't even.
I
I
think he
wasn't
was,
checking.
or maybe it was towards Pimp. He was trying to chase after your boss.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we chase in different ways. I chased him because I beat him.
Hmm.
Granted, this was like a Make-A-Wish title shot for me because I was like, I should never be near a belt. And
Hmm.
if Pepsi was around, he would have gotten the shot before I did because I never wanted a title shot. So
Yeah,
this was
Pepsi
like a Make-A-Wish.
Pepsi might be the best player in the whole league. He just fucking refuses to play.
Yeah, it's this damn enchiladas that he eats, man. This shit's killing him. Oh man, I remember he sent a picture of this thing that he ate, and I'm like, no wonder you're shitting so much. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, he's either eating micheladas or fucking roosters every goddamn day.
Hey man. Some people like to eat the cock, man. It's no biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
I'm
would
trying to
you
remember,
say?
guys. What
Yeah,
was my third win? So I lost against Keon, and I lost against Sunwave. What was
You
the third one? I think it's a decision.
yes, against Ham. Yeah, if I remember right.
yeah,
Yeah, you beat Ham.
you beat Ham. That was probably your biggest win, I'd say.
Yeah, because Ham is a tough bastard. Did you see like my survival grappling skills there? I made no
Yeah,
chance to win.
D3 skull.
Yeah, D3 skull. Yeah, I basically just grappled to survive, and I accomplished my Rocky thing. I survived, and I knocked him down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I think you survived, or I think you surprised a lot of people with that because Ham had just fought for the title, and then he fought you and went to a split. I think it might have been it was either a split or just a real close decision. I thought that Ham had won it, but I mean you won,
Oh,
so
I did too.
it's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
took
really
the
thought he
damn.
won that too.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too. You said it to me too. You thought he was. So I think
I
we
mean, let's
we
face it.
all
He
thought he did.
completely, yeah, he completely dominated me on the ground. I think what he
The,
rocked
the,
me
the
like
problem,
twice.
his problem is that with him on the ground, he has the same problem as PJ sometimes, where he doesn't do damage. He just is content to be in the position. It
Yeah.
depends on who he's fighting. If he's
But
fighting someone of equal skill, he does have that tendency not to do any damage on top.
it's tough style to deal with because I do think if Pimp hadn't got that submission with a minute left in the fifth round,
Oh, it's over.
I think Ham was up on the scorecards personally.
Oh, I
So
agree. I agree too. Yeah, it was a. But his style is tough. I call it like a meat grinding style because he
Yes,
basically
dude.
just he tries to slow the match to a halt and fight at his pace. The problem is that there's not many like counters that you can do like effectively without going to his pace
And one
because
thing I
yeah.
think I could have done, if you don't mind me
Mhm. Yeah,
intervening,
go for it, man. No,
one
no.
thing I could have done better was with Ham, is I stuffed like maybe two or three of his takedowns, and I kept trying to hit him with that knee. He was blocking it. I think since I was using Uriah Faber, I should have just stuffed it and like went to that sprawl position and worked from there.
Yeah, I think you should have. If you sprawled him and land a couple punches, maybe get up, have just keep repeating, you would have. I
Yep.
don't know. You never
And
know.
to be honest, if I stayed on top, I felt like I probably could have held him there for a while.
I think he was reversing you, if I remember right. Who did he pick? Was it Mendez?
Chad Mendez.
Well, true. Yeah, that's right. He did. We get in the half guard and he reversed me a couple times. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Mendez
shoot,
has a
like
lot of
a
skills.
minute on the clock is better on top than on the bottom.
Yeah, I think that somehow you did more damage in your dominations than he did because he was having trouble holding you down. You're up a warthog.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
was a fun fight though. It was fun.
Is there anyone in the league you want to fight though, like besides Sun? Anyone that you want to call
I think
besides
um
Sun and Abbas?
I think I'd like to fight Ant. I've heard he's really good.
That'd be fun.
This man
He's
wants to
good,
die.
and I refuse to lose to a guy who regularly plays UFC 5. So,
Oh
I
shit, that
don't.
is
I think he's trolling. I don't think he plays UFC 5.
dude, I swear I've seen it on his bio, like he plays it, or is it Sunwave?
That's Sunwave, man.
Oh, it is Sunwave. Well, god dang it. Well, I refuse to lose to him now. Sorry, Ant.
I
Yeah,
think
really
that
sorry.
ship is, by the
I,
way.
I mean, Ant
You
is a
have one.
traitor though, so I mean, if you beat up a traitor, that's always good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did he kill SFC?
No, oh well, yeah, he definitely did, along with everybody else. But nah, he was Florida manslaughter while we were in SFC, and then we redid the camps, and all of a sudden he wants to be Foxcatcher.
It's
Oh man.
6 degrees of Ant. He also betrayed Pimp Star. See that? Who also great. 6 degrees of Ant.
Well, you know what's funny though? As soon as he switched gears, like he's hardly won a fight since. So it's kind of karma caught
It
him.
must be that train. That training's rough, man.
Oh, one thing I want to run by y'all since I got y'all here. What would y'all
Yeah.
think about doing full 5 minute rounds? I know y'all pride yourself on like ending in 2.5 hours, which is awesome. But what would y'all think about
I
that?
don't see. I don't know if there's a way that we can do that. I know there's a mod for that. It's just the way that THQ programmed it. That runs it like the rounds it like full. Like what do you call that?
Game
1.5
speed.
Accelerated clock.
speed.
Yeah, accelerate clock. There you go.
Because
Yeah.
that
Is
was the
there a mod
only
for
thing that
that?
bothered me about UD3 was the accelerated clock. So I was so used
Yeah.
to UFC 2 and 3
There's
like grinding people out for that 5 minutes.
Is there anything that we can do, Frank, about that or no? I don't think there is without fucking with the programming. You'd have to ask some people at the UDF about that. I don't know how that works.
What was your suggestion? Exactly. Did you say 5 minute rounds? Is that what you said, or?
No, no, no. Like, because UD3 runs at an accelerated clock. He wants the full 5 minutes. So,
Oh
like,
yeah,
really,
I don't think there's a setting for that.
no,
Oh
yeah,
man.
you'd have to fuck with the programming. It's
Yeah,
let's
that's a
just
good
put it this
point.
way. You see how glitchy our ring is, where people are singing in there like it's Get
Yeah,
Out, and
yeah,
he's like out.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah. I have to.
I think it's just the way it is now. It's like we have if we want to keep a lot of fights on the card, I mean, it's kind of good that it's accelerated clock, anyways.
True,
yeah,
true.
especially those pride cards, man. Do you really want the full 10 minutes of some guy's style? I
I
don't
do,
think you
bro.
can.
I want the full 10 minutes, man.
You want to see the full 10 minutes of chasing Abbas? That should be a movie, by
It
the way.
would
Chasing
definitely
Abbas.
That
favor
would.
grapplers. I feel like.
It would. It
Yeah,
would.
they have so many advantages already. God damn it, let us strike, man.
Right, like yeah, you got Hamslinger or Keon or something on top of you, and it's like they got fucking
Or
10 full ass minutes to work. Like that's a long time.
yeah, or you got someone like Slick or
Hey,
Frank. Forget it. You just want to quit life.
it'll make people improve their ground game.
I
That's
have improved my ground game. God damn it, I went from community college to D3.
yeah, he's a solid D3 wrestler now.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Oh, we should talk about the SCI while we're
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
The
Shonie
Shonie
Carter
Carter.
Invitational.
Yeah, I did this on a whim, possibly under the influence. Basically, anyone that has a losing record has a chance to fight for a title. I don't know why I decided that. I just thought it'd be funny as fuck. And it gained some traction. So far we have, by the way, you have to have one sanctioned U.U.C contest to compete in this with a losing record. So sorry, Brody. And Devin.
Yep.
Devin doesn't have a sanctioned U.U.C contest. And Brody, you don't have a match yet.
Right. Yeah, you got to at
So
least do something first. The whole spirit of this is to give people a second chance at life.
yeah, so we got Obas, Abbas, Glav, Himith, and PJ, and possibly Shooter.
Yeah,
And
I
that
like
is,
those people. I think if there had to be a front runner in that, I'd say it's probably PJ or Himoff.
yeah, yeah, with that
Yeah.
ground game,
Yeah.
fucking nightmare. And then if the Boogaloo boys win, forget it. They'll never shut up.
Yeah, the only thing is, I
I've
mean,
heard,
we just saw PJ and Himoth go at it, and PJ kind of beat the shit out of him.
Oh, he
dang.
did. He did. That's true. It's just that his style and Pimp, sometimes the triangle theory doesn't.
Yeah, it would be something to see a Pimp PJ rematch if PJ is able to get through that tournament. That would be something to see. Cause dude,
Yeah.
I really think that PJ is. I really think he's fucking with us sometimes.
Oh, he
Really?
is. He is. Yeah, he's a
Cause
funny guy. I like him.
you'll see him sometimes where I'm like, dude, this guy looks fucking incredible, and then you'll see he just goes out there and gets the shit beat out of him by somebody
Wow.
that shouldn't, And I'm like, dude, there has to be an element of troll job to this.
I think that he just plays around too much. He's basically like Roy Jones or Anderson. They just get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the biggest dark horse if he enters is Tommy because his intercept knees are really good. It's on par with.
Yeah, he's another one like Hemoth where it's like he's very very good. Like he doesn't play as good in the league as he does in the spars.
Yeah, it
And
also might be because he actually trains and is probably tired and weight trained.
that's a good point. That's the one thing we've noticed. Do you train any martial arts, Candyman?
I do actually do some jujitsu.
Oh fuck yeah! I think I knew that, but that's one
What's your
thing I.
belt?
What
What's
was
your
that,
rank?
Skull?
What's your belt? What color are
Oh,
you?
I started last June, so I'm white belt wall all the way.
Oh, you didn't gain a stripe yet?
What was that?
You got a stripe?
No. Like I'm still a white belt. That's what I mean.
Oh, they
Uh,
don't do the stripe system in jiu-jitsu. They do that in karate. It's
we
like what
do.
do they call that?
So some gyms do.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that's kind of like a participation trophy
Are you a
belt.
gi or no
Like
gi
a
guy?
No geezer.
Yeah, so there ain't gonna be
mine's
no
not bad.
stripes if
But
no gi. Are you
oh, good.
tenth planet or just no gi in general?
I am. Yep, 10th planet.
Tenth planet, yes. You ain't getting stripes at tenth planet. They just
Okay.
do.
Hey, listen.
Oh, okay.
What is your opinion on the gi and no gi thing about jiu-jitsu, Frank?
Um,
Me or Frank?
Oh, he's been doing this longer than I've been born, so
yeah. So
Yeah.
my opinion on it is there's good things for both. There's good reasons to train both. And the uh, the gi definitely slows things down, and it makes things where you kind of have to be technical in a certain way. The older I get, I used to hate the gi, but the older I get, the more I like the gi now, because it
Mm,
being older and a little slower than these fucking younger guys, man. Like I can, like if it's no gi, they're gonna be able to just kind of fucking buzzsaw past me left, right, left, right, left, right, and fucking just get me fucking tired. But if it's gi, I can just grab a hold of some. I just grab anything and just kind of hold on to them and slow them the fuck down. And at least I got a fighting
nice.
chance of beating that person.
Lord. Yeah,
So
you
And
remind me of
shoot.
my coach, Coach Gote. Shout out Coach Gote if you're still alive. My God, he was like my boxing coach was like 70 years old and was cross training like karate and jiu-jitsu. Um, so he'd train us in boxing, but then like an hour later you have jiu-jitsu guys, and he's still beating the fuck out of kids younger than him. He was the dirtiest fucking fighter I
Wow,
ever sparred, but that man is a tough son of a bitch.
that's awesome.
I think he was a black belt too. I don't know what his rank was in jiu-jitsu, but I seen him roll. He was fucking people up that was half his age with the gi on.
yeah, you'll see some old
Oh,
men that just deliver old man ass whoopings with a gi more so than you would. I mean, there's bad old dudes with no gi too, but like some of them old men, you'll see like these guys look like they're getting ready to turn into dust, and they'll just be out there
right.
having these fucking 250-pound fucking young dudes like just begging for their mom out there. It's pretty fucking awesome.
I was gonna say you mean like Glover Teixeira, but then Teixeira's been beating up younger guys too.
Yeah, Glover, I think is my hero. He's
I think he secretly drinks he drinks tiger's blood.
I
well,
mean,
dude, that
shoot, dude. Dan Hendo, he was slow fighting at like 46 and knocking jokers out, man.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Randy
tiger's blood.
Couture. Randy Couture made his debut
Yeah,
at
dude,
36
Randy.
years
Yep.
old.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking Randy
Wow.
Couture is the man. That's I would have said Sakuraba, but Pride was content with feeding their biggest draw, like their biggest Japanese draw, to the wolves for some fucking reason.
Yeah, that's one thing about Glover too is like he doesn't have any. It's not like he's like Yoel Romero where he's like gifted genetically or something. It's like no, he just works his ass off and he's very
Yeah, he
disciplined.
does.
He doesn't really have
Yep.
any kind of like freak thing that keeps him in the game. He's just a very tough old dude that fucking trains every fucking day. He probably has a really boring life other than fighting, and
Right.
he's able to milk that shit for a lot longer than most people.
Yeah, he seems
Yeah,
very disciplined.
And we missed
yeah,
him
he
in his
seems
prime,
really.
dude. He didn't even make his fucking WEC debut till he was like 35 or some shit. Like he really missed his
Wow.
prime, yeah.
That's crazy.
Because
Yeah,
he
Wow.
was Chuck's training partner for like ever, but he had some kind of visa issues where he couldn't fucking fight in the United States for whatever reason. So
sounds
like,
about
Chuck
right.
and some Chuck Liddell.
no, talking about Glover. Like he was
Oh,
able to he
you
was
said
able
he was
to
training with Chuck.
yeah, he was Chuck's main training partner for like ever when like he was like 25. And for
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what the hell the deal was. Like he could come to America, but like he wasn't allowed to fight here. So like he was, and
Mm.
so we didn't really get him. Like, could you imagine getting 25-year-old Glover Teixeira?
Oh, dude. That'd be scary. That'd be
Right.
scary.
Imagine, yeah, he came over and got with like fucking AKA or something. Like, would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Man, his ground game too is good. Whenever I watch his fights, he had some pretty good ground game.
Yeah, and it's nothing. He's the kind of ground game I like, where it's nothing fancy, nothing crazy flexible. It's just meat and potatoes, but it fucking works.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
did you
sir.
see that beatdown of Anthony Smith? That was one of the most brutal beatdowns I've ever
Oh,
seen since I forgot this other
He
fight
was
where Herbie
apologizing
was
to
like,
him.
yeah,
wow.
He's like, I'm sorry,
This
the
one,
ref's
knocked his
not. I'm
teeth out.
sorry, the ref's not stopping this. Like Anthony Smith literally had his teeth laying on the ground and was putting them back in his
oh my
mouth.
God, are you
Oh
serious?
yeah, dead
Yeah,
serious.
oh yeah, watch it. It's on ESPN. Yeah. Just look it up. It's
Oh,
one of the most and the fact that this was during the COVID one, you could hear every punch that he's fucking landing on this guy's face.
Yeah, Glover's like, will you please stop the
oh,
fight? His teeth are falling out, and the ref's like,
Yeah,
no, keep going.
and you can hear Anthony Smith
oh.
is like, I don't want to keep going till I die. Fuck it. I'm like, man, this would
I mean,
explain so much.
I don't know about you. I mean, I've never done MMA before, but if I was, I think if I'm getting to the point where my teeth are falling out, I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to pay an expensive dental bill. I think you got me, bro. You know, you're beating my face, and you got me, and
Yeah,
I'd tap out.
I got respect for that. Other than like, people will clown on people for quitting, but sometimes your health is more important than a fucking
Yeah, and then
fight.
look at Tony Ferguson. Look what
Yeah,
happened to him.
yeah. And who's gonna pay his medical bills when he's done? Ain't us.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
relative to what the stakes of the fight are. If it's a world championship and it's your first crack at the belt or something, yeah, of course, go out there and
Yeah,
take an ass beating if you have to. But
exactly.
yeah, if you're so, I mean, but the crazy thing is, dude, I see people in the gym all the time, and they're fucking leaving it in the gym. Like I'm telling, like
yep.
especially like young guys that are just fucking, they don't understand that tomorrow is a thing, and they just beating the fuck out of each other. I'm like, you guys
Oh,
are nuts, man. Like you guys are gonna scramble your fucking brains.
like when you say beating the brains out of each other, as in like striking wise,
Yeah,
or
just
like jiu-jitsu
sparring.
wise.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I'll
okay.
spar with young people, and they're wanting to just fight. And I'm like, dude, like
Yeah,
I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not trying to just fight you, dude.
yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean? Like,
I
I'm
agree
not,
with that, and
yeah, I'm not
I'm
interested in
young. I
fighting
don't
a
want to get
20
my
year
brain.
old.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah, even
yeah.
young
That
guys
was the
shouldn't be doing
problem.
that.
That was the problem with my with my gym. They just did a lot of hard sparring, and yeah, you can hear it in my voice sometimes. Yeah, I paid the price for that one.
And
They sometimes don't know when to slow down.
yeah,
Yeah,
me and
that,
my dad watched a YouTube video on that exact thing, like sparring, how these guys will just like beat the absolute daylights at each other. Sometimes new guys will come in there, get beat up by some dude, and they'll never want to come back. You know?
yeah, that happens
It's a
all the
bet.
time.
Yeah, it happened. They tried to do that with us to see who would come back, like give us an ass whipping, and I kept coming back. I think I'm a fucking moron.
Well, honestly, we've had that shit. SFC was bad for having people. It wasn't their fault. It was just the way the kind of the culture was at the time. A lot of people just bragging about spars, and you got to see a little bit of it with our man Barksdale that popped in. Like these people just want to get into the sparring sessions, and they just run their mouths about spars, and then like do screenshots and take videos and just make it into a real toxic thing, which is all fine
Dude,
and
I would.
dandy. But like the problem is like if we get new people that are new to this game, like it's gonna turn them it's gonna turn them off of this shit
true,
immediately, and they're never gonna get good at it.
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and I realize now why we didn't invite him before. I was like, I know this Barksdale guy, and then after having a sample, I'm like, oh, that's why.
But I think
Oh,
it's good every once in a while to get somebody like that where everybody can see like, oh no, like that guy was acting like a fucking jackass, and that's why we probably shouldn't have people like
see,
that in here.
I didn't have a problem with him personally. My biggest problem was that he had the clouds without the winds.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue is that he was talking and running his mouth, but who did he like? He didn't beat anybody.
No, he hadn't beat anybody. I don't think he won it. Well, yeah, one fight against Shooter Man that he on last second notice, and beat.
He sucker punched him too. By
Yeah,
the way, he sucker punched him in the opening thing, which is fine. Protect yourself at all times, but like if you're gonna sucker punch a guy touching gloves, I'm gonna look at you a different way.
True,
but
true.
but he's starting his own league, and more power to him.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It probably has Lickma in his 9 accounts.
Yeah, it's like the when like all the bad guys get together on fucking comic book or whatever. Like the
Scott Pilgrim, yeah.
yeah.
Um, I will just put it out there now. If anyone from this league wants to fight in Barksdale's league, I have no problem with that. We're not going to squeeze out another. fuck that. Yeah, I have no issues with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't care at all. Now knock
Uh,
yourself out. We are open.
the only man that has issues is the man running the other. That's his problem. I have no issues if you want to fight.
Yeah,
Fight back.
or any other thing that somebody might have going on. Like it's I don't
Yeah,
give a shit at all.
yeah. You can do the Eddie Bravo Combat Grappling League. It ain't happening here. So might as well do it somewhere else. LOL.
Yeah, it's weird. Like that was an old school jujitsu thing too. It was like, oh, we don't want you going to other gyms and training. Like that was a big thing for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, there's still a
Yeah.
couple gyms that are weird like that. But largely the culture has changed to where it's all welcoming.
Yeah. Just think of it. It still happens in MMA. Look at America Top Team.
Yeah,
It became
that's
a meme in there.
yeah, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, like there's still that culture where if you want to leave to get better, you're considered a snake. Although yeah, TJ maybe was a snake.
Well, I've had people come into my gym and like tell me just crazy shit that has happened at other places, and I'm like, oh boy, like I mean, I've seen some shit too, but like nothing that was really regarding the culture of the gym. It was just like, hey, we happen to have this random crazy guy come in one day. But like they've told me some weird stuff about the culture at other gyms, and I'm like, dude, I'm so lucky to have dodged all that shit because there are some wild shit that happens out there. But it's not just
Yeah,
gyms. It's probably anything. Like, hey, this. I mean, I've worked at places before that have weird fucking cultures. Like it happens in any kind of thing. Anytime you get people together.
we one time our gym the guy running our Coach Gote he wasn't there to supervise our sparring session, so he had the every gym has like an enforcer, so the enforcer guy was just doing his thing. There's this guy that wanted to show up, and he basically was going hard sparring when they agreed on light, so he's throwing like Charlie Z bombs at
Jesus.
him. And the fucking enforcer just fucking had enough and started fighting back, and then broke his arm.
Oh,
I don't know how the arm got broken, but I just know the guy didn't. He was broken. It was broken.
Well, there was a story I was
yeah.
listening to a podcast one time. They were talking about John Donaher that some Sambo guys came over to Henzo's gym, and they were one of them was just being a jackass, and John Donaher was trying to show him something, and the guy was just acting like, well, that wouldn't work on me or something. So John Donaher like literally just like grabbed him in the move and like broke the guy's arm, and then he said that John Donaher just like kind of casually got up and like went into his office. And like a couple minutes later, this other person that was at the gym like went in there, like went into John Donaher's office, and Donaher's like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" Like like nothing had like nothing had happened.
There's another day in the office.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I had to do that. I had to show that guy he was being a jackass.
Sorry, you guys had to see that, but
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we had something like that too, where we had these guys that are trash talking the enforcer guy again. It always involves him. I don't know why people think so. They think that he's a boxer, so he didn't know any better. So these guys, these Polish guys, came in and challenged him to a grappling match. They didn't realize he cross trained with he rolled with grapplers too, and he fucking beat the shit out of them.
Jesus Christ.
That enforcer guy is like a cop now. I would not want to get arrested.
Yeah, there are some bad dudes out there. That's one thing when martial arts taught me is like you don't know who in the fuck you're talking to on any given day, man. So it teaches you to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, it's a very good equalizer, especially with size. Like most people think that if you're smaller that they into shit. Never know, man.
No, I had my
yeah.
ass whooped for large periods of time for by small people. Continue to have my ass whooped by small people. That happens.
Yeah, I heard that Candyman got whooped by somebody that's small. His name was Sunwave.
Oh yeah, he did.
I heard Sunwave's like 5'5". I'm kidding. I don't know how tall.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
we
kidding, man.
we have to make people weigh in before the matches from now on.
Oh God, I think I would. I think I break the scale.
Dude, I need to get my weight up. That's one thing I've been trying to do is get the gym and get a couple pounds of muscle. Because I'm
Yeah.
6'1", but I'm only like 152, and I'm like, gee, I got to get a little bit more
Hey, you can
muscle
borrow
on my body.
you can borrow some of my weight. I'm a big fat ass according to Barksdale. So
Yeah, it's funny that the man that he cared so much about sparring, but when it came to times he lost, the recordings weren't there.
yeah, that's strange.
Right.
Funny how
Or
that
he would
works.
blame it on spam or cheese or whatever.
And I think a lot of guys get too comfortable in the spars, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm champion of the spars." When the bright lights turn on, it just all goes out the window.
Yeah, that's why I don't play the same way. Like when I'm sparring, I do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yep,
I'll
same here.
probably I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna only try to beat this guy using left hands, or I'll just do wacky shit like that because I don't like
Exactly.
I don't like how weird shit gets when you make spars a fight. Like that's not how I do things in real
Yeah.
martial arts, and that's not how I do things in this shit either.
Yeah,
Hmm.
spars usually for me it's to discover like your style or just to mess
Try
with
new
around
things.
and experiment.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we've
Like
we've 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 come through so many trends now, like that we've people have stumbled upon these little cheese moves, and they have their time in the sun, and then like people will find a counter to that cheese move, and like that's kind of what makes things fun.
yeah, yeah. I actually learned the leg kicking stuff from C God and Dissy, so thanks guys. And what's his name? I developed that. I stole all that from C God. Thank you, C God.
You know,
That's
one
all
thing I
mine.
do have to say about UD3 that I'm not a huge fan of is how many leg kicks it takes to like get a TKO. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, have you seen Edson Barbosa like land a kick? I mean, bro, you can only take like 4 or 5 of those like clean before you start limping. You know?
This was all you got to remember what era this was in. Like the only leg kick finish that had
Aldo.
happened was Aldo, yeah. So
True.
they were
True.
kind of really ahead of the curve with the leg kick damage, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
a good
And
point.
then I
And
think
this
it
was
took
pre calf kick days. I mean, maybe Ben Henderson had
Yep.
thrown one or two calf kicks, but you never saw him.
doesn't Anderson have the calf kick or something like it?
He's got the oblique kick. I don't know if he's got the calf kick or
Yeah,
not.
there it is. Yeah. That fucking
In
oblique kick.
Jones, yeah, he's got the oblique kick too.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
talking
that
about wanting to ban the oblique kick for like ever. They were like, "Oh man, people are gonna have their legs ripped off by the oblique kick," and like it just never happened. It's
oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
I mean,
it's annoying and it can't. I mean, I've seen it fuck up. Khalil Roundtree did it to somebody like the worst I've ever seen it. But
oh, dude, I think I know what you're talking
yeah, that was
Yeah,
like the
I'm sure.
worst one. It was like, well, it finally happened after they talked about it for 10 years.
about. Yep.
I think it's
But
because
I don't know.
Khalil Roundtree
It's a
did it.
good. I think it's a good tool that should stay in the UFC. I swear they're getting to the point where it's like, oh, that attack is actually doing damage. We need to take it away.
Yeah, you see, I mean, you've seen the calf kick thing. I mean, that the calf kicks has really changed a lot of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, everything once you discover a new technology, man, everything else has to adapt around it. I mean, it happened in
Yep.
jiu-jitsu with the leg lock shit, and now we're seeing
Hmm.
crazy people taking backs off the leg or off the leg lock attempts and stuff. So that's keeping them honest. Like everything has to adapt. You can't just like, oh
Yep.
man, this thing is working, so we need to like put a law against it. It's like no, that's kind of like short-sighted thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Oh
guys,
man. Oh
I personally
god.
think they need to bring back knees to grounded opponents.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
I mean I want soccer kicks and head stomps back, bro. I'm sorry, these guys get
I'm
I
gonna
see them
I'm
get a
gonna
little
tell you
too
this
comfortable.
much. I'm gonna tell you this much. If you ever watch those soccer kicks and head stomps, just look at who they're doing it and see like who it works on. It
Yeah,
ain't
it
any
always
of the
works on the.
elite
Yeah,
that
it's always Vanderlei beating up Executioner number 3. You know what I mean?
yeah, random Japanese guys.
Right. But yeah,
Hmm.
and you can counter. There are nasty counters to head stomps and to soccer kicks as well that you can fuck around and break your leg. Like as somebody's coming in for like a soccer kick, for example, if you take your hand and kind of go with like a washing your hair motion with your right hand or with left
Uh-huh.
hand, depending, and kind of like take their foot further than they were intending on going, you can fuck around and break your
Ooh.
leg real easily doing that shit. So like even crazy shit like that has counters to it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think even in UD3, there's a counter for the head stomp. It's like a heel hook, you know.
Yeah,
And I'm
Yes,
that's
sure guys
yeah.
have done
Only
it
certain
IRL.
people have it.
well, guys. We've gone pretty far in this, so I guess so we're not. There's not going to be a card tomorrow, but we are going to do the big Shonie Carter Invitational. That's going to be on Sunday.
I'll
And
praise Tony Carter.
yeah, so we'll have and we'll probably have some more fights on that card too. And does anybody else got anything they want to get off their chest or whatever before we head out?
No, I think I
Yes,
addressed everything I want to talk about.
yes. I added 2 new rules if you haven't read it. Rule 14 is any ground strikes or ground subs in KB, BKB, or Muay Thai will result in a KO loss and a 1 week card ban, and depending on the severity of the offense, a possible server ban, aka the Lickma Rikian rule.
Mm.
15, this one here, this happened, this was a first for all of us. If you need to leave in the middle of a fight, pause the game and let one of us know what's going on, like DM us. Don't post on Twitch. We ain't gonna see it.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened in that fight. It's the shooter man rule. So,
Yeah, because I don't have my Twitch up when I'm doing the stream stuff. I can't look at I can't have all the Twitch shit up because it would feed back into the feed. It would start doing like an infinity loop. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I can't do that. So yeah,
and
just DM
it would
us.
have been fine. I think he tagged us in here, but this was also during the time of Barksdale's rampage. So
Yeah, and I do think I mean we never had an issue out of Shooter Man doing anything like that before. I do
oh
think
hell no,
it
no,
was
no, no.
a
I just
genuine thing, but
yeah. If you are the first to do it, the rules named after. It's just the way it is.
yeah, and if you end up having to take an L off of it because your wife dropped something and you had to fucking go help her. I mean that's part of the deal, right? So
Yeah, I
Dude, it
mean,
might even be a good
unless
idea to.
unless your opponent agrees, of course, to a no contest, then that's I would have to see proof on that.
Shoot, you could probably even hit the forfeit button because I think it goes through like a whole animation, cutscene.
It does, but if you got to go, sometimes you don't have that time.
yeah,
Go
you ain't
sit,
got time to
go
do it.
for
Yeah, if
True,
your
true.
kid's screaming or yeah, I mean your dog fucking gets hurt. I mean there's all kinds of shit can happen. So
or you have
Good point.
someone calling you fat and
yeah,
threatening to another league.
hurting your feelings. Well, all right. With that, guys, I guess we're gonna go ahead and end this one, and we will see you guys next week. See ya.
All right,
Yep.
thank
See you
y'all.
next
Thank y'all
week.
for having me on.
Thanks, Candyman. See you, bud.